Today, our topic is Harappan civilization. When we are talking about the ancient history, Harappan civilization is one of the most important and interesting topic. So let's get started. It is so happened that in 1922, a Buddhist stupa was noticed at Mohenjo-daro in the Larkana district of Sindh, province of Pakistan, by Mr. R. D. Banerjee, the then archaeological superintendent of the Western Circle. At about the same time, similar prehistoric remains were discovered by R.B. Dayaram at Harappa in the Montgomery district of the Punjab. These excavations have proved beyond doubt that there flourished a highly civilized community in these regions about 5,000 years ago. As the chief centers of this civilization lie around the river Indus and its tributaries, it is styled as the Indus Valley Civilization. So, this is the map of Indus River, and the tributaries of Indus River is Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Byas, and Satluj. Excavations at various other sites prove that this civilization flourished over a vast area comprising the whole of Sindh and the Punjab and the bulk of Kathiawar, the valley of Northwest Frontier Province. Northwest Frontier Province was a province of British India and later of Pakistan, and a part of at least of Gangetic Basin. So here is the map of Gangetic Basin. The river Ganga emerges in the western Himalayas and flows down across northern India into Bangladesh, where it empties into the Bay of Bengal. Nearly 80% of the Ganga's river basin is in India. The rest in Nepal, China, and Bangladesh. Basin has a population of more than 500 million, making it the most populated river basin in the world. Let's see some distinct features of this Indus Valley civilization. It is difficult to say when this civilization flourished in India, mainly because the script used by these people has not yet been deciphered. According to Sir John Marshall, the then Director General of Archaeology, this civilization flourished about 5,000 years ago, roughly between 3250 to 2750 BC. He came to this conclusion because of certain similarities between the finds of Mohenjo-daro and other ancient civilizations of the world. A great many seals, pots, tablets, fragments of vases have been found at various sites in Mesopotamia, Egypt, and Babylonia, which are quite similar to those found at Harappa. These implies that the Indus Valley people had very close relation with these people, or in other words, all these above mentioned ancient cultures were contemporary with each other. But the Babylonian and Mesopotamian civilizations have been dated between 3250 to 2750 BC, and consequently the date of Indus Valley civilization also falls between 3250 to 2750 BC. Now we shall talk about urban planning of Harappan civilization. Let's see well-planned cities of Harappan civilization. So, the excavation work carried out at various sites has shown without doubt that the Indus Valley people were primarily urban people. While examining the ruins of Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, and various other sites, one is completely wonderstruck by the remarkable skill of these people in town planning. These cities are the earliest, yet they appear to be so modern. The streets were quite broad, varying from 9 feet to 34 feet in breadth. The corners of the streets were rounded off, perhaps to enable the heavy carts to take a turn in an easy way. These streets intersected each other at right angles, and in the words of Dr. Mackey, they were so arranged that the prevailing winds could work as a sort of suction pump, thereby clearing the atmosphere automatically. No building was allowed to encroach upon a public highway. An English visitor who was much impressed by the remarkable skill of the Indus Valley people in town planning. The next point is well planned drainage system. Perhaps the most striking features of this civilization is that the Indus Valley people had constructed their drains on a very scientific lines. The drainage system of Mohenjo-daro is so elaborate that the like of which has not yet been found anywhere in the world in any other city of the same antiquity. House drains emptied themselves into the main drains which ran under the main streets and below many lanes. The Indus Valley people well knew that such drains were not to be left open. They were covered with bricks or stones and were provided with inspection traps and main holes at regular intervals for inspection. Every care was taken that the housewives did not throw refuse or dirt in the drains. Every house had its own soak which collected all the sediments and allowed only the water to flow into the street drain. The elaborate drainage system of the Indus Valley people shows that they had developed a high sense of health and sanitation. Now we shall talk about the nature of political and economic organization of Harappan civilization. The Indus Valley people had developed a prosperous civilization on the basis of their thriving agricultural economy. Domestication of animals was another useful profession. While they had trade relations not only with other parts of India but also with the western countries like Mesopotamia, Egypt, Crete, and Sumer, both by sea and land. Only a country capable of producing food on a large scale and having trade relations with other countries could build up such a prosperous city civilization as Indus people had created. Even their workmen could afford the luxury of two-roomed brick-built houses. The main profession of these people was agriculture. They produced wheat, barley, varieties of fruits, date palm, and probably rice. Nothing is known about their actual method of cultivation and irrigation, but that they irrigated their lands by water of rivers is certain. They domesticated animals and birds for the purpose of milk, meat, and pleasure. Cow, sheep, buffalo, sheep, pig, dog, humped bull, donkey, parrot, cat, peacock, and fowl were domesticated. Elephants, camels, and horses were also known to them, but probably horse was imported by foreigners here and became known to them much afterwards. The wild animals known to them were buffalo, monkey, bear, tiger, lion, tortoise, rhinoceros, hare, crocodile, and gharial, and they hunted them. Fish was also known to them. The carpenter, the potter, the weaver, the goldsmith, the jeweler, the physician, the fisherman, the house builder, etc., represented their other professions. They could build round wood wheels for their bullock carts, and potter's wheel was also known to them. The people there maintained trade relations with other parts of India as well as with foreign countries. Links have been detected with Central Asia, Mesopotamia, northeastern Afghanistan, northeastern Persia, South India, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Balochistan. The trade was carried on both by land and sea. They probably imported copper from South India and Afghanistan, lead ore from Rajasthan, South India, Afghanistan, and Persia. Different seals found here indicate that these were issued either by individual merchants or merchant guilds. They had distinctive marks on them and probably were used as hundis for the purpose of trade. Weights also have been found in large numbers and range from large specimens to very small ones. What was used for measurement is not very clear, but a slip of shell 6.62 inches long and divided into 9 equal parts has been found, which suggests that they had means of measurement. It is also held that the decimal system was known to them. The next topic is municipal system. Efficient civil organization. It is impossible to say whether a civic body or a single official supervised the civic activities of these towns, but they were evidently in very competent hands. The careful town planning, elaborate drainage system, and adequate water supply would indicate a civic organization quite unknown elsewhere in the ancient world. No pottery kiln was allowed to be built within the four walls of the city. Buildings were neither allowed to encroach on a public highway nor were they allowed to be constructed in a haphazard way. Lamp posts at intervals indicates the existence of street lighting. There were special inns constructed for the travelers and a system of watch and ward at night also existed. There were special trenches constructed outside every city for the rubbish to be thrown in them. Trees and plants were encouraged to be grown within the enclosures of the city. All these things presuppose a highly advanced state of civic authority and indicate that the people had developed a high civic sense. Thank you so much. In the next video, we will discuss more about Harappan civilization.